Hey mommies, it's me, Ker-Leen. Thank you so much for tuning back into the Mom Life. Today I have a mom hack video for you. It's just a really quick tip, experience, advice type of video. When I realized this, I was like, wow. It was like an epiphany, a light bulb moment. And I'm sure some of you mommies have already reached this light bulb moment or this epiphany. And if you have, share your experience down below. Recently here, my kids have transitioned from being itty bitty babies. They both have transitioned from being innocent little babies to toddlers who are aware and are figuring things out and are trying to explore. And in that, the behavior has changed. And so right now, we've transitioned from one stage to the next. And this is when I really have to start. And I've already been doing this. I've already been enforcing discipline, because discipline starts when they're really, really small, just as they are right now. Because if you try to discipline when they get older and they don't have that fear of you, so to speak, you're not going to get anywhere. And I learned that from my own childhood, the way my mom did things, my dad did things. And now being a mom and, us parenting these kids, we realize that, oh, so you know what's going on here. Okay, so we're going to have to start disciplining now. So we are learning that is so, so important. This is when discipline kicks in, because this is when you have to start teaching them what the right behavior is and what the wrong behavior is, and that there are consequences when we behave in a way that is not pleasing first to God, because we're believers, and so that's important to us. So our behavior should please God, but then also there are societal norms and things that you can do and you can't do. And so now we're just now starting to try to teach these things. That is what I spend the bulk of my day doing, is trying to correct and trying to teach and get them to share with each other, get them to behave well, teaching them these things. And so what has helped me tremendously during this time is getting them involved and keeping them on task, especially if you're a stay-at-home mom. But this applies to any mom, because your kids are at home with you for some part of the day. One of the ways that I manage behavior and ensure that everyone is behaving well and we have a relatively stress-free day is I involve the kids. I keep them on task. So I give them little small tasks that I'm confident that they can complete, and I get them doing those things and give them responsibility. And I find that when they know that they're responsible for something, or when they're looking forward to doing something, their behavior is better. While they're doing the task, they're busy doing it. So they're not like misbehaving, touching this, going into things they're not supposed to go into. They're busy, they're tied up. So naturally, they're not doing those things. But then I find that when they become responsible for something, that's a good tool to use for discipline. What I will say to them is, if you'd like to do this one thing that you are always looking forward to, then you need to behave right now. Then this is the behavior that I want to see. If you don't show this behavior, then you're not going to be able to do this. And even though they're small, they understand the reasoning and the rationale. What they're not as capable of doing right now is controlling themselves. So self-control is something that they struggle with at this age. If you give them a task and they're looking forward to it, you can use that to kind of manage the behavior somewhat. Now, it's not going to work 100% of the time. They're still going to have their days when they just don't want to listen and they want to do what they want to do. But that's all a part of being a toddler. They're figuring things out. They're figuring life out. They're learning. They're growing. And I have to remind myself of that this is a process. They have to go through this process. They have to put things in their mouths and be told not to do it. They have to touch things and be told not to touch them. They have to experience and encounter certain consequences so that they can grow, because otherwise, if they kind of just bypass this stage, then they won't have the tools necessary to do life in the next stage. If you are in this stage, be encouraged. This is just a part of the process. And one thing that I found to help is to get them involved. So for my daughter, she's recently started to feed the fish. She really enjoys doing that. And my daughter is so smart. She knows what's going on. There are certain things I'll tell her to do, like go do this, go do that. And I don't think she's going to understand it. And she's like, oh, I get it. She'll just go and do it. And then my son, Elin, he's like a little brainiac. his mind is very rational. He takes after his dad in that way. He's very, very rational, and he calculates, you know, what's going to happen. He counts the costs. He thinks about the consequences, and when he does something he's not supposed to do, oh, trust, he's already thought about the consequence and he's prepared to deal with it. They are just two different and intriguing and entertaining characters, and this is a part of their growing process, and I'm witnessing it. So it's a blessing to be able to witness them going through this process in their lives. And what I want to be focused more on now is getting more of that on video, and also rationalizing, talking to them. Look, if you do this, this is what's going to happen. This does not make mommy happy. This does not make daddy happy. If we do these things, they don't make people happy. And, you know, just kind of having those conversations. What happens when you do this? If you do this, you'll get this reward. If you don't do this, then you won't get that reward. And so just kind of, you know, going through all those things with them. Interestingly enough, I am teaching a course. I taught it last semester, and I'm teaching it in the fall. And it's about the teaching profession. In that course, we cover the stages that children go through developmentally. And it's interesting to see the things that I'm teaching actually happening. So right now, my son is in this stage. He is determined to do everything on his own. And that's exactly what I was teaching. They're going to come to that stage where they feel like they can do it by themselves. So his favorite thing to say right now is, I want to do it all by myself. And I was like, I was teaching this. I was just teaching this. So it's a blessing. It's a part of the process. And if the behavior has been kind of a stumbling block in navigating your day, then, and I'm still trying to figure this out, how to stay on track, stay on target when I have something planned. But if the behavior has been an issue for you, try getting them involved. For my son, like, I'll have him go and grab a bag for the poop diapers. We don't keep the poop diapers inside. I put them in the trash can in the garage. So I'll have him go get me a little plastic bag, and he'll go get the plastic bag and bring it to me, and he's always so excited. I'll have him erase the board. I'll have him wipe certain things down, and he loves to help me in that way. So I find that has helped manage behavior very, very well, and I hope this tip helps you all. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? I post videos weekly. I have at least one video every week for you guys on this channel to encourage you, to inspire, to entertain, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss them. The next video will be on the screen per usual. I'll see you soon. Bye.